Welcome to the first episode of the new Amista podcast, First Sip, Then SAP. In this podcast series, we'll take you on a journey into the fascinating world of SAP. We'll explore the latest and greatest developments in SAP, answer various questions our clients frequently ask so you'll know them too. And of course, showcase some relatable use cases. I won't be doing this alone, but along colleagues, clients and experts. In this episode, we'll dive into the latest and greatest of the business technology platform, in short BTP. And we will answer your questions about the BTP you've always had but never dared to ask. And the cliffhanger, at the end we have a very interesting prize to get you started. My name is Coen Sanderink, Business Development Manager at Amista and your host for today. Let's start. Today, my colleague Michiel Neefs joined. Welcome, Michiel.
Thank you, Koen.
Your first podcast
First time ever.
First time ever,
Yes.
eh? So, okay,
Special.
great. Excited?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Great. Well, it's just like a conversation with a colleague like we have every day. So, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Michiel Neefs. I've been working for almost 6 years now at Amista.
Yeah.
Started as a BTP technical consultant, so that's mostly development on BTP. And now since almost a year, I'm leading our business unit as a business unit manager. So something completely different. But yeah, super nice.
Okay, but that's quite a different role from technical to business unit manager. How come?
Yes, I was always interested in technology itself, but not one technology in specific. So I learned a lot of different technologies, worked on automation, on all kind of things. And I think that was a good fit now with the role that I now have, since I still support some of my team members every day. And also in interaction with customers, it's helping a lot to know all those different kind of technologies.
Yeah. Are they all SAP related technologies or did you also do other technology stacks?
Always SAP related.
Always SAP related. Okay, so yeah, I think as a manager that you can really talk with the clients, your customers, but also with your team members, and also a little bit more in depth than just some general terms. Okay, great. But you also talk to clients on a regular basis.
Yeah. We have a lot of chats with our customers, whether it's for architectures, whether it's for a new solution that they want to build, whether it's for a support issue on an existing solution. We have a lot of interactions with them, and for me specifically technology-wise as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I think it's a great start. First sip, and then SAP. Okay, let's start. We start with the What's New section. And in the What's New section, we provide an update on the latest and greatest from SAP. SAP has a wide range of products. As you know, you'll explore them. And we focus on a business technology platform. And I think that for some listeners, the SAP business technology platform is new. So in this first episode, we'll take a high-level look at the business technology platform, and in following episodes, we go a little bit deeper and we dive into some use cases, etc., etc. So you also get a really good grip of what you can do with the business technology platform. So, Michiel, can you explain a little bit what is the business technology platform?
I like to use an analogy for this. I always compare BTP with a do-it-yourself store, like we have the Hubo in Belgium, or Hornbach or Gamma.
Gamma you also have in Belgium.
We also have it in Belgium. Yeah, true. Because it's a store where you can buy all kinds of components, whether it's already a finished product, whether it's a semi-finished product, but you basically buy those things to then construct or build something yourself. And it's the same with BTP. It's like a toolbox with all those components that you can use to build your own enterprise landscape, technology-wise. And the advantage is that, you clearly know what you need and you already have all those components being offered to you on BTP.
Okay, but I'm a little bit a do-it-yourselfer myself. But when I go to my favorite store, that's the Hornbach, for example, then I know where I can find things. But when I go to a different store, then I think, okay, where do I have to look? So I think, I don't think, I know you have the same on the business technology platform. Now, a lot of technologies in there. You know there is a database somewhere. You know there is an integration. You know there is something for automation. But how can you find it?
One of the things that is super useful, I use it, I think, almost every day, is the SAP Discovery Center. It's a platform where you can find all those different kind of components, and you can basically search on what you need to then see what the solutions are that they are offering, or which services that they are offering on BTP. But even then, sometimes it can still be a little bit too technical, certainly from a business point of view. So that's also where we, of course, at Amista come into the picture, because we can help our customers translate their business needs into the technology that we need to use to build a solution.
Okay, but at Gamma, I have departments. Do I have departments on the business technology platform or aisles?
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, we have 5 different departments, let's call them, on BTP. So just to list them, we have app development, we have integration, we have automation. We then have everything around data and analytics, like you were saying, with the databases and so on. And then we have, of course, buzzword AI.
AI, of course. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
let's focus on some departments. Let's dive a little bit, walk into the aisle and see what's there. If you look at, for example, at app development, what can I find there?
App development offers you everything from low-code, no-code to pro-code development, so really writing the lines of code. It allows you to build, without a single line of code, a mobile application, for example, by just using drag and drop. But also it allows you, for example, to build your own portals. Whether it's for internal use, whether it's for external use. Yeah.
Okay. And if I go to department process automation, what can I find there?
Yeah, it's really the task automation, for instance, an automated process, a robot scanning a mailbox and getting relevant information from it. But you also have the whole workflow engine, where employees need to interact with what's happening. So that's the whole automation stack offers that to you.
Okay. And in the integration department?
Integration is really the integrations running on the background. So you don't really see these integrations, but you can connect SAP with non-SAP systems. You can schedule certain jobs that you want to have run every day, for example. Those kind of things you can find on...
manage your APIs to the outside
Manage
world.
the APIs, exactly. Event-based architectures is also one that you can find in the integration pillar.
Okay, and then AI?
AI is, of course, a buzzword, but actually we really see some cool developments there now. First of all, AI is probably going to be used most within these other departments, so within app development, within integration.
So it's already a half product, you already get it of out of the box from SAP.
Yes, exactly. And the cool thing is that you can connect it to large language models that are not owned by SAP. So you can connect it to a ChatGPT 4.0 model, you can connect it to Gemini.
It's open, it's agnostic.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and then you have data and analytics.
Yeah, also an interesting one. So storing the data is cool. It's useful, you need it, but then being able to analyze those data and being sure that you can make decisions based on that data. Okay, so then I know a little bit where everything is, what I can find there, and then there's always a guy on Saturday who is doing an example. He's making something in the hardware store, in the do-it-yourself store, and I always think, oh, that's quite easy. But when I buy the stuff and go home and try to do myself, I always think, that's a little bit harder. So I also can imagine that for our listeners, they listen to you, think, okay, that's easy, but then how do I get started? So maybe it's a good idea to have to be that guy on Saturday, to have some use cases to get them a little bit in the inspiration part. Can you give some examples? Yeah, sure. Remember I told about those portals which you have in the app development? That's a a case that we see a lot of times. You have this company with their own ERP systems, and they want to give access to external people as well, but you don't want to give them directly access to your ERP because you're also doing your finance and so on in the system. So what we can do then is build a set of custom apps and exposing them, like we like to call it, in a portal. So basically you give those external users access to the portal. It interacts with your ERP system, but they don't get access directly to your ERP system.
Okay.
It's fully web-based, so it's accessible from a laptop, from a tablet, from even your mobile phone, for example.
It's cloud-based, so it is updated. It's always on the latest technology
Exactly,
stack.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. And for process automation, for example, that's always an interesting one.
A case that we recently developed is for, we call it sales order automation. You receive a lot of purchase orders from your customers, and then you have people typing it in manually into the system. It's a time-consuming work. It's error-prone. So what we built there is an RPA bot that fetches attachments from a certain mailbox. It scans every 15 minutes for new mails and new attachments. We will extract the data, for example, from the email body or from a PDF that is attached. We will structure that data and then create a sales order in the system. Okay. So that one is already a more complex case because it combines.
I already heard some products from different aisles. I already hear some bots from process automation. I hear a machine learning.
Yes.
To read the document. That's AI. I hear an app. That's app development. I hear connections to other systems. Exactly. That's integration. So actually, we have all different aisles where you have to find some different products.
Yeah, and that's the beauty, I think, that you can easily combine all those different components to build an end-to-end solution.
Yeah, it's cloud-based. That has some advantages, but it also has some advantages that SAP updates those products. Yeah. And they, of course, have a roadmap, so you know when certain things go end of life, but then you still have to adapt. So how do you stay up to date?
Personally, I have a lot of notifications turned on for almost every service to get notified by email to see what the changes are, whether it's a new enhancement, whether it's an end of life. That same discovery center that I was mentioning, also that information is always there. And of course, at Amista, we can also support you with those kind of things because you want to use BTP, you want to use certain apps, but the whole governance part and the maintenance is sometimes it's a blocking factor sometimes because certainly for smaller companies, they don't want to invest too much time in all of those things. But that's something that we can take up.
Okay, great. And of course, you can subscribe to this podcast because we will do this each quarter with the latest updates about the business technology platform. So then you can also stay up to date. We also have, of course, a website, a LinkedIn page. All the links are in the show notes. So you can subscribe to that and that you stay on up to date, not on to date, up to date.
Up to date.
Okay, so let's go to the Q&A, where we have some questions that are often asked by our customers. The perception is that from a lot of customers is that SAP is expensive, especially when you are small or medium-sized enterprises.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, I don't agree, first of all. There are indeed some services that are quite expensive. I'm then thinking about Integration Suite, for example, is one of the more expensive services. But there are also a lot of services that are at a much lower cost. Consumption-based, for instance. So if you only use like a small part, you only pay a small part.
What kind of services are that?
I'm thinking about app deployment and app development. I'm thinking of automation, for instance. You can already
process automation.
Process automation, you can really get cool results for a minimal price.
Yeah,
and portals is another one. Yeah, exactly. So depending on the pricing, I get the statement. And as I said, some services are quite expensive, but there are also a lot of services that don't require you to invest a lot. Yeah. And even then, if you think, or if you're not convinced yet that this will solve your problem, SAP has also these free tiers on BTP. Yeah. And basically what it is it's the same version as the paid version, but then with some limitation. For example, the number of automations that you can run, the number of apps that you can develop and deploy. But it's completely free. So it offers all the capabilities. It's completely free, and it allows you, for instance, in a proof of concept mode, to already build something.
Yeah.
The application itself, for instance, can prove its value, not only to you, but to your end users and so on. And then once you're convinced, then you can switch.
Move it to a production environment where you have the support and the reliability, etc., in place. Okay, that's great. But it's cloud, so you always have a kind of minimum threshold you need to buy. Yeah, minimum type of consumption you need to buy. But let's say I need a very small app, like for example, counting my stock. How can the BTP serve in that? And I only need the app.
Yeah, then you need to contact Amista for that. Why? Because we have a starter package available as well. It's whether you want a certain portal, lightweight portal that you want to build, or an application that you want to have, for example. What was the case? The stock counting, for instance.
Stock counting app, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want a super expensive contract for at least 5 years and then maybe not even being sure that the app will do what you want. So with our starting pack, what we offer there is it's an app we already built, right? So you are not responsible of building it yourself or investing a lot in this development. You pay a monthly price just to get the app up and running. And the cool thing is we also take care of the maintenance, the support, and the governance. So keeping the app up to date, you just get, like with any other SaaS product, you get it with regular updates. You don't have to think about it. You just need to use the app.
From Amista, we also have a starter pack.
Yeah.
To get people started. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
The starter pack, for example, for like a small application, like you were mentioning, the stock counting application. And what we want to offer there is we really want to show our customers the value of BTP. Personally, I'm convinced it's the future, but we also need to convince our customers, of course. And with this starting pack, the whole goal is at a low cost providing this value to our customers.
Okay.
They can start small, but dream big.
Dream big, okay. What I also hear often is mainly from our Business One customers is, BTP is only for S4. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
No. Definitely not. Yeah. Indeed, the link is often made between S4, a big S4 system with then a big BTP environment, but also for Business One customers, it's perfectly applicable. Even for non-SAP, it's also possible.
It's also possible.
Yeah,
and possible. I can imagine that for Business One customers, when you think, okay, in a few years I want to move to S4, I want to move to the cloud, that you already start on a business technology platform by developing your apps portal. So that's a little bit future proof. Yeah. Not a little bit, that is future proof.
Yeah.
But I also often hear from customers that are still on premise. That's nice. I buy the equipment, I buy the server, then I have my maintenance fees, and that's it. And I own it. And when I'm in the cloud, I have my monthly price. And when SAP decides to raise the price, then I'm screwed. So how can you mitigate that a little bit?
Yeah, that's something you can tackle as a customer yourself.
Okay, how?
Why? Because SAP also offers contracts on a longer term. So not for 6 months, but you can do it, for example, for 3 years or 5 years.
Okay.
And what that means is once you have agreed on your contract, your pricing will remain the same for those, for example, 5 years. So you know exactly in the beginning when you start the contract what your price will be for the next 5 years.
Okay. Now, that's great. So then you don't have unexpected price ranges.
Exactly.
Okay. Then still, we discussed a little bit about process automation, apps and portals. But how about integration suite? Because you said that's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. Integration suite is indeed a little bit more expensive. However, it offers a lot of capabilities. It really allows you to transform digitally. You can really go towards an event-based architecture instead of a file-based or a scheduled kind of integrations. It allows you not only to build integration and send out and catch events, but also create APIs that can be used internally, externally. It literally offers every integration capability that you can think of.
Yeah.
And that's why the pricing, of course, is a little bit more expensive, but since it's such a powerful solution, I think that it's more than worth it.
Yeah, okay, that's easy, that's nice. I can see that, just like the guy in the hardware store on Saturday who would think, perfect, I can do that also myself, but then I want to start. I want to have the configuration, you need to manage the platform, but then it becomes difficult.
The cool thing about Integration Suite, it's not only Integration Suite, because we also have it for other services, but you also have a lot of pre-built content. And it can be pre-built by SAP, it can be by a partner, even Amista. We also have a lot of pre-built content ourselves. And what it allows you is to kickstart your development. Instead of starting from scratch, developing from a blank page and really starting from scratch, you already get a working version. The only thing you need to do is configure it.
Okay.
Setting up the connection to your ERP system, defining how many times a day you want it to run. And then, of course, if you want to make... or want to develop something that is not included there, you can still do it. But like 80%, 90% is already there for you. So that helps a lot.
That's great. Okay. Well, I think we gave some information, some inspiration, some examples. So people are really inspired. And we're running to the end of our first episode, first SIP, then SAP. We introduced the BTP. We have some common questions from our listeners we answered. And we hope we gave our listener an idea of what BTP can do for the organization. But then still, they go home or they stop in a car and then think, okay, but how do I get started? And I think that's where the cliffhanger is. Because we have a prize.
We have a prize.
Yeah, shall I do the drum?
The prize is a 2-day boot camp. Sounds exciting. I'm already excited.
Yeah, and what are they going to do? They're going to the water and with ropes and...
It will be business related, but the goal is that we come on site to the customer, to the winner, and we basically analyze with them what their needs are. And the idea is that by the end of those 2 days, you already get like a small, lightweight working version of what you want, so that you can start testing and exploring a little bit further. Yeah.
Okay. So that sounds great. If you want to win this, then mail to podcast@amista.com with your name and motivation. And of course, this is a podcast, so you think, okay, but it's already a few months old. No worries. We pick the prize every month for whole to 2025. Yeah. So please mail your name to and motivation to podcast@amista.com. And then we're at the end. In the next episode, Michiel, we're going to discuss some use cases. Can you already elaborate a little bit on that?
I won't.
You won't. That's also a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger.
You're the cliffhanger guy.
I'm the cliffhanger guy.
You're the cliffhanger guy.
They have to listen to the next episode to see what we're going to discuss.
That's great. Okay, so thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and hope to see you, hear you in the next episode.
Thanks a lot, Coen.
Bye.